Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon and Geeky Sparkles sitting this video out. We're going to talk about Ubisoft. Their sales are down and they're blaming you. They're blaming you, the gamer, you, the consumer. According to Ubisoft, consumers are playing fewer games because players are turning away from traditional releases in favor of subscriptions, live service, and free-to-play games. Yeah, well, also, they are playing indie games. They're playing cheaper games. They're not buying the AAA quote-unquote slop, and they're not buying it from Ubisoft. That's for damn sure. So we're going to talk about Ubisoft, and I don't know what the hell is going on with them. Nobody seems to know what the hell is going on with Ubisoft. They pulled their stock. You can no longer trade Ubisoft stock. We don't know why they have stopped trading that. There's speculation there's a buyer or they're shutting down. I don't know. As of the recording of this video, I have no idea what's going on. Nobody seems to know what's going on with them. Some people think that maybe Tencent bought the carcass of Ubisoft. Because remember, they took all the IP that was worth something and they punted it over to this other company that they're doing with Tencent, right? So they took like Assassin's Creed and Rainbow Six and all that stuff, and they pushed it over there, as Patrick would say. They took all of the stuff that might be worth it, and they pushed it over there, leaving a carcass of Ubisoft, and then they stopped trading. They were not going to give their earnings report for the year. They said, hey, it's coming, guys, honest, and they canceled that like 15 minutes before the presentation. And now they're giving a litany of excuses as to why people aren't buying their games. And also they're in trouble because they're using AI artwork, I guess, in their games too. And for as much as they're spending on these games, $200-300 million, you'd think they would be able to pay artists. I mean, aren't those people unionized? Aren't they getting paid really well? I don't know. So we're going to talk about Ubisoft, the utter state of Ubisoft, and I have no idea what the hell is going to happen to this company. I think that Ubisoft, as we've known it, is effectively dead. Just a hunch I have based on all available evidence. So let's talk about it. Before I get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, go out to more.clownfishtv.com. I'm going to pull this up. We're going to build a life raft off of YouTube at more.clownfishtv.com. We're going to post videos over there and podcasts over there that we do not post on YouTube because I don't trust YouTube. We're also bringing the forums back. I'm finalizing that. So we're going to have private forums for people who subscribe over on More, and looking at doing some private game servers too. I'm looking into all of this and just trying to build a solution off of YouTube because, again, I don't trust YouTube. I don't think any YouTuber should trust YouTube at this point. They're definitely changing things, and it's not for the better. And it's going to be all Hollywood stuff and AI-generated slop going forward. And Ubisoft apparently would know all about. They would know all about that, the AI-generated slop. We'll get to that. Let's talk about this first. This comes from IGN. Assassin's Creed publisher Ubisoft says many new games are struggling as players turn away from traditional releases in favor of subscriptions, live service, and free-to-play games. Consumers are playing fewer games. Well, they're not playing your games. They're actually playing quite a few games. They're playing a lot of indie games. Actually, the last year or two have been banner years for indie games, and a lot of those games are not being recognized by the Game Awards, I guess. But there have been so many amazing indie titles that have popped up over the last couple of years. Why would anyone want to spend $70 on Star Wars Outlaws? I mean, seriously, why would they? So Ubisoft is warned of falling company revenue and said, seeing that many new games are struggling to stand out as players turn away from traditional full-price releases. Again, people will pay money. They will pay good money for a good game. But people are looking for replayability, too. They're also looking for a game that they're going to play 20 years from now. We don't have many releases like that anymore. Either they're all live service, which is true to some degree. But games don't feel complete. They don't feel classic like they used to. I mean, I can still go back to games from previous generations and play them and enjoy them, and they're complete games. And they never feel done. Games never feel done. It feels like everything's a beta, right? And that's a huge problem, I think. And this is one of the problems with, everything being online too, is, back in the day, you had to ship a disc, you had to ship a cartridge, and it had to be pretty much complete. I mean, it wasn't until later that, every console was online and you could just patch the game if it was broken. Now we ship broken and incomplete games, and we look at these games as being revenue drivers for years to come. $70 for the base game, and then hopefully you'll spend $700 this year on, loot boxes and all that stuff. And it's like, nah, people are tired of it. Projects that would previously have stood out are now finding it tough to achieve the sales they may have once had. Again, it would help if the games were good. Ubisoft wrote a new UK financial filing, which blames a wider change in taste among players, explaining that the traditional full game model of selling a single $65 to $80 game to a consumer as a one-time purchase was continuing to become less ubiquitous. Ubisoft said players are now opting to spend their free time and money in other ways, such as subscription services, long-running games as a service titles, Fortnite, Roblox, free-to-play games, and cloud streaming. That's true to an extent. They're also going back and playing old games because the new stuff is ass. Maybe if the new stuff wasn't ass, maybe if it was complete, people would buy it. They would play it. In a nutshell, Ubisoft continued. Consumers are playing fewer games, while some one-off full-price titles were continuing to be successful. These have become a few notable exceptions to the wider trend. It continued. The remarks come amid a continued period of uncertainty for Ubisoft. This is them blaming gamers. This is them gaslighting you into thinking that nobody's buying video games, nobody's playing video games, nobody's paying good money for video games. But we've had several indie titles that have seen record sales. Right. Again, I can't believe I'm using Gemini, but, Hollow Knight, Silksong, Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, 5.3 million copies across Steam, PS5, and Xbox. Balatro, that was a huge, huge deal. And people are still buying Stardew Valley, Minecraft, Terraria, years later. So, they are correct in that regard, but nothing that Ubisoft is putting out is any good these days. Let's be honest. It's just not. You look at Assassin's Creed Shadows. You look at Star Wars Outlaws. You look at just all of their franchises are in decline. And they really just expected gamers to be pay pigs forever. All these AAA studios, they all expected you to just keep paying them forever, right? Ridiculous amounts of money. So they can't crack the increasingly saturated live service game market. Then don't try. Just put out solid single player or couch play games. That's all you got to do. Fire half the activists working for you and just go back to basics. As for Assassin's Creed, the company has gone all in on its biggest brand, though it was forced to slow its production line of upcoming games and remakes to give this year's Assassin's Creed Shadows more time. Still, a slew of upcoming other titles in the franchise are expected over the next few years. They're going to have a Black Flag remake. I'm sure that'll go well. Ubisoft dramatically halted trading of its company shares and postponed the wider firm's latest financial report minutes before a scheduled shareholder call was due to go live. Days later, Ubisoft is yet to provide more context. Yeah, it's freaking dire. I just love this. This coming from PC Gamer. Staring down the barrel of a rough 2026, Ubisoft's UK arm says we're less interested in one-time purchase games. It's all about live service drip feed. The drip. Physical software sales in the UK market are going to see a decline next year of the traditional full. Yeah, they already said this. This is stupid. The warning then goes on to peer into its crystal ball and determines that multi-game subscription services are new and attractive ways for consumers to access gaming content. Stop with this. Stop with the live service shit. Fortnite's already doing it better than anybody else at this point. Roblox is already doing it better than anybody else. You don't have to do it too, right? Let those companies be, they want to chase that. Let them do it. Create good standalone single player games. Everybody needs to stop this live service shit, right? You're not going to beat Fortnite. None of you are going to beat Fortnite. So stop it already. Just don't even look at Fortnite as being a video game. Actually, Fortnite is more of like I would say a virtual world that you subscribe to. It's kind of like Second Life with guns and cringy dances. Stop it. You're not going to be that. Just go back to making good games. That's all you got to do. All these companies. Stop it. I feel like Bob Newhart. Stop it. Just go back to what works. But no. Because your shareholders and your board, they want infinite profit. They want every quarter, they want to see it go up and up and up and up. And that's the problem. That is the problem with all these companies, is that you're going to hit a ceiling. You need to focus on sustainability. Why can't we just focus on sustainability? The company did good this year. Maybe next year it won't do as good, but it still did good enough to keep everybody employed. And then the year after that, we have a big release and it'll do good again. Like a small business. Just run it like a small business. Stop with this corporate shit. This is corporate. These huge corporations, these mega corps are ruining everything, because there is no such thing as infinite profit. And the only other place they're going to go to get revenue when they run out of new customers is they're going to juice the existing customers or find a way to screw them every month, get more and more money out of them. And that's what these companies are doing. And then what happens is people turn away from that. Just, again, go back to basics. Just create, a couple of really good games a year. Same with you, Square Enix. I'm looking at you. Fuck the live service shit. I mean, I understand Final Fantasy 14, was making money for you and all that. Then that pisses me off too. Final Fantasy 11 and 14 should not have been Final Fantasy 11 and 14. It should have been Final Fantasy Online and Final Fantasy Online 2. I don't like that they put the online games in the numeric Final Fantasy series. They should be offline. If you want online, just say it's online. You want Assassin's Creed Online? It's Assassin's Creed Online. That's it. And then people know what they're getting themselves into. But everything else should be a standalone game, and it should be done mostly when you ship it and you should own it. I mean, come on. So this is coming from Fandom Pulse. They're over on Substack now. They said that a leaked email provides more details on why Ubisoft stopped their stock trading. Okay, so what happened? In a press release on November 13th, they halted stock trading. The email was shared by Insider Gaming and states, I wanted to let you know we're taking extra time to finalize the closing of the semester, and as a result, we will publish our first half earning results in the coming days instead of tonight. Yeah, that means we're fucked. I mean, I'm gonna translate it for you. That means they know it's bad, right? Due to legal regulations, we can't share more information with you. People think that they're selling. Their stock is down, This was same time Ubisoft's CFO tells employees that trading halt of stock is to limit unnecessary speculation. Again, people think they are being sold or acquired, or they're just going to shut Ubisoft down. If they shut Ubisoft down, I freaking called it, man. If they shut Ubisoft down completely, they took everything from that company that was worth anything and they punted it over to that other division that Tencent owns part of. So if Ubisoft doesn't have anything great, why keep it? Right? Why keep it? You've stripped it. You cleaned the meat off the bones, and now you're going to throw away the carcass. I mean, that's basically what they did. And that is corporatism right there. That is like how it works. So I don't know, but this is kind of funny. I'm just going to wrap up with this. Ubisoft admits an AI generated image slipped through our review process. So this was an AI generated image from Pax Romana after admitting it slipped through its review process. Why is it all these companies are like, oh, it slipped, guys, it slipped. No. They hoped you wouldn't notice. Wizards of the Coast. Right? Bungie, they're trying to save money. They're trying to cut costs. But the thing where it's really egregious is in the case of Bungie with Marathon. They actually lifted somebody's style or artwork. I mean, right down to the damn text on the helmets and everything. And then they tried to pass it off as their own, being like, oh, it was just a slip, guys. We didn't know we were stealing this guy's very distinct art style. They get caught, right? That's what happens. So this game has an AI disclaimer on Steam. That's interesting. So Anno 117 Pax Romana takes franchise's city building formula. I haven't played any of these games. I'm going to be honest, I haven't. Back to the ancient empire, but used modern generative AI tools in the development process. Fans have already begun ripping into one particularly egregious looking piece of AI generated imagery that appears in the background. during a loading. Okay, it says during a loading screen. I'm like, if it's just like a painting or something in the background, I'm like, what's the big deal? Very big difference between this and the high quality background art and loading screens of Anno 1800. Ubisoft tells Kotaku it'll be replacing the offending image in a patch. The loading screen art that fans have spent the most time picking over shows a banquet at Roman Palace with dozens of people walking, chatting, and lounging around. Stare for a moment or two more than usual, and you can start to see the weird incongruities and errors that become familiar hallmarks of AI images. It's not always going to be that bad, but yeah, there's some weird, like, where's this arm coming from? I mean, just off the top of my head, I'm just kind of like, yeah, there's some weird stuff. Faces in the background are disfigured, joints and torsos don't match up, and stray lines appear out of place. So it's the first Ubisoft game to appear on Steam with an AI disclaimer. AI tools were used to help create some in-game assets. In all such cases, the final product reflects our team's craft and creative vision. Fans have been sharing other examples of the team's craft and creative vision, including Romans debating politics in the Senate with no heads. Oh, it's a new image. Okay. I was like, wait a minute. No heads. Yeah, that's odd. Players are calling it an improvement, but the shadow cast by AI usage more broadly remains. Even if the team behind the game, Ubisoft mains, didn't intend for any AI artifacts to be visible, it's now clear that at least some of the background art was composed with AI tools. Everybody's using it right now. I'm going to tell you the truth. All these studios are using it. They're desperate to save money because, again, it's all about maximum profit. And, I have thoughts about AI just in general. I think it's a very helpful tool. It needs human oversight. And, I don't think it's ever going to replace people fully, but I think it will find its place in the digital tool set, just like filters and everything else. So I don't think people really need to worry so much about it. Like, they're all freaking out now. And I think within a year or two, we're going to be like, yeah, you know what? We still need people. Like, we can have the AI generate the base art, but we still need people to, tweak it before we send it out the door. So, everybody's got their heads or whatever, the hands look right and all that stuff. It's just a thought, just a theory. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up, guys. So we still don't know what the hell is going on with Ubisoft, but man, they're gaslighting gamers. This is insane. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.